Most people are aware that the low rate of successful marriages in the United States is enough to shy masses of people away from even considering getting married at all. The likelihood of divorce is almost as probable as the likelihood of a successful marriage, and the rate of having a second divorce seems to be significantly higher. There are many factors that play into these outcomes, but one thing I have noticed in my practice of therapy is that many couples, usually younger but not exclusively, seem to be hesitant to ask the really difficult questions before getting married. You know, the questions that help you really get to know the person you intend to spend the rest of your life with, potentially raise children with, and model for those children what a healthy marriage is supposed to look like, which, by the way, can have psychological consequences for generations to come. These questions, which help address not only the qualities of our partner, like kindness, bossiness, or loudness, but the questions that also help us learn motivations, internal drives, fears, limitations, and expectations are essential to the commitments which establish a marriage. Legally, aside from the terms and conditions agreements of all of our favorite phone apps, would you agree to a contract without knowing what was in the contract or what the contract was even attempting to accomplish? What if you knew you could lose half of all of your assets if you breached the contract? Believe it or not, this is exactly what some people do when blindly entering a marriage. Marriage is an act, but it is also a contract, an agreement, a covenant, an agreement which roughly states, I promise to commit to you and your well-being to the best of my abilities until the day I die. But truly, how can anyone commit to the best version of someone else's self without truly knowing the person they've committed to? There are certain questions that couples must ask before deciding to move forward into marriage. These questions should go beyond the basic, how many kids do you want? Or can you cook? Do you fold laundry? The questions should be the beginning of an ongoing dialogue which continues to reassess ideals, goals, motives, and expectations of your partner within the marriage. Many couples shy away from these conversations because they're too difficult or awkward, and the one excuse that always makes me cringe is that the conversations may be too personal. Come on, people. Marriage is extremely personal. If you can't talk to your potential spouse about the most difficult topics pertaining to your relationship, who can you talk to? And should you really be considering this person as a potential spouse? Premarital counseling is something that is overlooked by many couples. There is also a religious undertone which I believe deters many couples from considering this as an option. Marriage counseling can be secular, but I wouldn't be surprised if the counselor touches on each party's spiritual or religious beliefs, as these often hint at underlying values which the foundations of marriage are typically built on. Do you find it difficult to talk to your partner about serious topics pertaining to the future of your relationship? Do you question whether you fully know the person with whom you intend to spend the rest of your life? Maybe something in your relationship seems off or imbalanced. Maybe you want to have a difficult conversation but are unsure of how that conversation will play out. Relationship counseling or premarital counseling could be a benefit to you and your partner. You owe it to your future self and to your future spouse to set yourself up for success in marriage and to avoid the years of regret that could potentially follow. Check us out at NayaClinics.com or follow Naya Clinics on Facebook or Instagram.